Have you wondered if the CIA thinks the US is headed for total annihilation? Well, back in 1966, they got their hands on a book that prophesied the world's doom. This book, filled with prophecies and grim conclusions, sparked intense debate within the intelligence community. Today, decades later, the question lingers. Does the CIA still believe that the United States will one day be destroyed as well? We all know the CIA is no stranger to keeping secrets, but what if I told you they've been hiding something that could impact every single person on this planet? It sounds crazy, I know, but stick with me here. It's the idea that the entire United States and its major cities could be completely wiped out in less than 24 hours by a catastrophic event. Now, we're not talking about nuclear war or an asteroid impact here. No, this supposed doomsday scenario comes from the controversial 1966 book, The Adam and Eve Story, by Dr. Chauncey Thomas. Dr. Thomas wasn't just any writer. He was an engineer with insider knowledge that could shake the foundations of our understanding of history. The CIA wasted no time coming in and slapping the classified stamp on Dr. Thomas's book. But secrets have a funny way of getting out, don't they? Fast forward 50 years, and whispers of his book started to circulate once again. People were asking questions, demanding answers. And the CIA? Well, they're staying tight-lipped as ever. Now, I don't know about you, but when an organization as secretive as the CIA starts hiding books, my curiosity goes into overdrive. What exactly is in The Adam and Eve Story? Why is it so dangerous that it had to be buried for half a century? And most importantly, what does it mean for us, the ordinary folks just trying to make sense of the world? So, what's in this book that was so dangerous that the CIA felt they needed to bury it? Did it have any information that was hinting at the United States being a target? Well, hang on tight, because Dr. Thomas didn't just write about the end of the United States and the world. He described it in terrifying detail. According to him, the Earth is due for a catastrophic pole shift that will essentially turn our world upside down, quite literally. We're talking about a cataclysmic event that will trigger earthquakes, tsunamis, and winds so powerful they'll shred everything in their path. Now, you might be thinking, surely this is just some crackpot theory, right? Well, that's what the CIA thought at first. But then, they read the book, and what they found must have been terrifying enough to make them bury it for over half a century. You see, Dr. Thomas didn't just pull these ideas out of thin air. He cited countless ancient texts and flood myths from cultures all over the world, from the Mayans to the Sumerians, all describing a similar cataclysmic event that wiped out advanced civilizations time and time again. And it's not just ancient folklore either. Thomas provided scientific evidence to back up his claims, like the erosion patterns around the Great Sphinx, which suggest it was built long before the Egyptian civilization, possibly even before the last great flood over 10,000 years ago. But here's the real kicker. According to Thomas, these pole shifts and subsequent floods are cyclical. They happen every few thousand years, wiping the slate clean and forcing humanity to start over from the Stone Age. In fact, Thomas believed that we're the sixth advanced civilization to evolve on Earth, with countless others before us being wiped out by these cataclysmic events. And if that's not enough to make your hair stand on end, Thomas even provided a rough timeline for when the next pole shift might occur. He initially predicted it would happen around the year 2000, but when that didn't pan out, he updated his prediction to sometime in the next few decades. So, with all this evidence, is it possible that Dr. Thomas was right? Is it possible that the United States, and indeed the entire world, could one day be destroyed by a cataclysmic pole shift? Now, I know what you're thinking. This all sounds like something straight out of the movie 2012. And you'd be right, except for the fact that some of Thomas's claims have been backed up by modern science. For example, we now know that the Earth's magnetic poles do indeed move periodically, and we're currently long overdue for a pole shift. In fact, the North Pole has been drifting at an increasingly rapid pace, and the Earth's magnetic field is weakening. which are both signs that a shift could be on the horizon. And let's not forget about the countless examples of ancient flood myths and geological evidence of massive global floods that have been uncovered all over the world, just as Thomas described. While the idea of a sudden, catastrophic pole shift is still hotly debated in the scientific community, there is evidence that such events have occurred in the past. For instance, the rapid freezing of woolly mammoths with undigested food in their stomachs suggests that some sort of extreme cooling event took place. So, while we can't say for certain that Dr. Thomas's claims are 100% accurate, we also can't completely dismiss them as pseudoscience. But perhaps the most compelling piece of evidence is the CIA's own involvement in this whole saga. Why would they go to such lengths to classify and hide a book for over 50 years if there wasn't at least some truth to it? And let's not forget, this wasn't just some random book they classified. It was an entire 57-page manuscript that the CIA themselves described as being sanitized, which keeps asking the question, what did they remove and why? Now, I know all of this might seem like something out of a movie, but what if there was a real-life scenario that could shake the very foundations of our planet? Dr. Thomas, a brilliant mind, spent years researching a theory that seems straight out of science fiction. His findings, documented even in classified CIA files, suggest that Earth could undergo a radical transformation. Imagine waking up one morning to discover that our planet has drastically shifted. The poles, which once stood at the ends of the Earth, are now near the equator, while what was once the equator is now frozen at the poles. Entire continents would be submerged under miles of water, while others would be encased in ice. Dr. Thomas speculated that such a dramatic shift could occur, leading to catastrophic consequences. The implications are immense. Cities, civilizations, and entire ecosystems would be irreversibly altered. This isn't just a theoretical possibility, it's based on credible research and analysis. What would this mean for us? How would we survive such a monumental event? These questions are not just hypothetical. They're the kind of questions that keep scientists and governments up at night. To understand the gravity of this situation, we need to delve deeper into Dr. Thomas's research and the CIA's classified documents. They reveal a scenario that challenges our understanding of our world and our place in the universe. Could this really happen? Could Earth's axis shift so drastically? The evidence suggests that it's not just possible, but that it's something we need to be prepared for. The consequences of such an event would be global in scale, affecting every aspect of our lives. So, while this might sound like the plot of a Hollywood blockbuster, the reality is that we can't afford to dismiss it. Dr. Thomas's warnings are a reminder of the fragility of our planet and the importance of understanding the forces that shape it. Now, I'm not saying we should all start building underground bunkers and stockpiling supplies, although it might not be the worst idea, but we should at least be aware of the potential risks and start preparing for them. After all, if a pole shift were to occur, it would cripple our entire way of life. Our technology, our power grids, our communication systems, all of it would be rendered useless, at least temporarily. And let's not forget about the potential for widespread panic and civil unrest. When faced with such a catastrophic event, it's not hard to imagine how quickly things could spiral out of control. So what do we do? Do we ignore the warning signs and hope everything turns out fine? Or do we heed Dr. Thomas's advice and start preparing for the worst? The choice is ours. But one thing is certain. The CIA's involvement in this whole situation suggests that there's more going on than meets the eye. Dr. Thomas's doomsday prophecy has been ringing alarms for years. The secretive hand of the CIA in this story only adds to the mystery. What could they possibly know that we don't? Could they have information that changes everything we thought we knew about the world? Maybe by uncovering this hidden truth, we can revert the very catastrophe that Dr. Thomas warned us about. It's a long shot, but every bit of knowledge helps. Knowledge is power, after all, and understanding the dangers we face is the first step in fighting them. So, let's keep our eyes open and delve deeper into the secrets of our world. The CIA has a long history of keeping secrets, and who knows what else they might be hiding. It's up to us to uncover the truth and be prepared for whatever comes our way. In the end, the true contents of the Adam and Eve story remain a mystery. Was Dr. Chauncey Thomas a brilliant visionary who uncovered a terrifying truth about our planet's past and future? Or was he simply a misguided person piecing together an elaborate pseudoscientific fantasy? The CIA's decision to keep large portions of the book classified only adds to the intrigue. What secrets could be contained within those missing pages? Are there revelations so earth-shattering that they must be kept from the public eye at all costs? Perhaps one day, the full manuscript will be released and we'll finally have answers to these burning questions. Until then, the tale of this book remains a fascinating enigma, a chilling warning from the past about a potential future catastrophe that could wipe the slate clean and force humanity to start anew. So, does the CIA believe that the United States will be destroyed one day? It's impossible to say for certain, but if Dr. Chauncey Thomas was right, it's a possibility that we might all have to face sooner than we think. All right, everyone, that's it for today.